back again with another episode of the Patel Bros podcast. I'm Rish, as always. That's my man, Carolus. And we're just
What's up?
shoot the shit on these topics this week. And as always, you could get the topics in the description and follow along with us as we, bullshit. But anyway, all right.
Whoa. This is very important conversation, sir. Don't you dare discredit. Don't you dare discredit all the work I did of reading, okay?
Of reading a single article that I
Hey.
You. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right.
I mean, some of the stuff I didn't understand. I was like, this sounds like gibberish.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, sometimes even me, I'm like, I'm just going to glaze through some of it sometimes. But it happens. But anyway, all right. First article I sent you was this new brand new collector. He literally just started collecting baseball cards, comes in and pulls.
I think he's a return collector. He used to collect a little bit when he was a kid or something.
He came back, but on 2 visits, this guy pulls 2 one-of-one cards. Like, that's bananas.
Can I be provocative and say, what if he's a plant?
You think to market that store?
No, I mean market again. You know me for many years. You know me for many years. You know how my brain works. Yeah. It always looks for how can I? If I was a criminal or if I was a large organization, how would I do this sort of thing to promote my own business or to do something? So I was reading it and I'm like, I mean, this is a great story. It's a person who's returning to collecting, right? So again, let's just talk about it, right? It's a collector pulls 2 2024 top debut patch autograph cards, right? In 2 visits to the store.
Yeah, he came one
visits.
One time. The very first time he pulls that one-of-one, and then he comes back the second time, and then he pulls another one, and
right.
And and he did a break at the store, they were at the store.
Right.
I mean, there.
Again, how convenient, right? I'm just saying again.
It's like the little guy is getting a big ass card, and it's a real collector. It's not like a reseller or a guy.
It's a great story to promote. Hey. Even you, the lowly peon who hasn't started collecting yet, you have a chance to just buying 1 pack and it's a little bit too good to be true, and there's a lot of skepticism that's inside me, right? It's just
So you think some company like Topps was like, yo, we're gonna let this guy get a specialized pack. But okay, I feel like then a lot of people need to be in cahoots on this, right? The store needs to be in cahoots of this. Then because this guy apparently came to the store, bought a pack or bought a box, and opened it there, and then got this card, right? So if that's true, then everybody has to be in on it. You know what I'm saying? And
look. Again, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm not saying that that's what happened. It's a great feel-good story, right? It's a great feel-good story. It promotes, again, it ends up in articles. It promotes maybe potentially someone who's not thinking about collecting, hey, I have an opportunity to do the same. I don't have to be. Oh my God, you disagree.
Sorry, I had to go grab something.
Don't mess with me, man. I'm trying to say stuff.
I was doing a magic trick.
and again, I'm not saying that that's what happens, but if I were a large organization that's trying to promote our product, especially that's for release and something that's taking place, this would be a very good promotional piece to put our stamp on. I'm saying it's very, very convenient.
I don't disagree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. If
now are there a lot of layers of planning for that to take effect? Of course.
Yes.
But if you're a multi-billion-dollar organization,
I mean, yes, you have the resources, but do you care enough to do something like that, right? Because these guys are making a shit ton of, like, their product is moving regardless. Like these people are buying these boxes at exorbitant amounts of money. So for you to spend your resources to do something like this feels like it's unnecessary. It's like redundant, you know? Like why? Because it's not. If you think about the amount of sales that this gimmick would increase, is negligible, like compared to. Like, again, I don't think
you have to think of it. You have to think of it from a different marketing standpoint, right? It's not necessarily to increase sales. It is to promote the product in a way that hasn't been done for a while, right? But when was the last time there was a story like this?
Well, is that the purpose of any marketing, right? The only reason you do any of this is to drive your revenue, right?
Of course,
because otherwise,
it's also to plant seeds, like. The question is, other than this Collectibles, Sports Illustrated, did anyone else pick up this story? Was there a local, news thing that picked it up? Was there?
I didn't see. Well, so Sports Illustrated obviously is the biggest one, right? So, which is why I get a lot of my articles from there. But I don't know. I didn't see this story being told in other platforms. I'm sure I could have done a deeper dive, but
look, sure again. I'm saying most likely this is just my own conspiracy in my head that happens a lot, right?
But I'm not saying companies haven't done shit like this in the past, because they have. They have. This is not like this is uncharted territory. It's not. People. Companies do this kind of shit, and sometimes even in a larger scale. They've done like. Matter of fact, that you sent me that thing about Christmas and Coca-Cola, right? Like Coca-Cola literally invented Christmas, right? Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, it is possible. I just feel like seems like a legit story. Like, I don't think that this, to me, seems like Topps is like putting somebody out there and like, oh yeah,
and they did a very good job. If they convinced you, that it worked.
Yeah, exactly. If this is a really gimmick, man, then they get me. I mean, I'll hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, for sure.
Look, again, I think it's a great feel-good story. It's something that as someone who's not collecting, like, I would be like, yo, you know what? Maybe I should go try to buy a pack. Maybe I can get lucky too.
Yeah, and it's just like one of those stories that everybody wants that to happen.
Correct. And it's right before Christmas too. Like,
right before Christmas,
maybe I'll buy my nephew a few packs. Maybe he will.
Exactly.
It's convenient. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's just convenient.
It is. I'm not saying. I was gonna say there might be some smoke, so there might be a fire, but like I'm not saying you're completely off base. Like, it could, like, there are like things there that could potentially be like, okay, yeah, like some company, or Topps probably, because it's Topps products. Topps is probably planting somebody out there to get to drive people to like visit stores and buy their products, right? So like. I see your point. I just personally think that this is a real guy, and he this and
I'm sure he's real. And then it's a real guy. I can tell you that much. The guy is real.
The guy's real. No, but I also hope that this is also like one of those things like, hey, this is going to be a driver for you to get back into it and make it like a lifelong hobby, right? Again, because like you said, like, this guy stopped and then got back into it. And when you get two big hits like that, like, you're fully into it now. Like, you're in the thick of it now. Like, you're not leaving that collecting anymore.
He sold one of those cards, right? He sold the first one immediately.
I think he stole it back to the store, right?
I don't know.
He sold it.
It said it there, but
I said he sold that for the 1 of 1. Yeah, but I mean, look, I hope it's a real story. I hope I would feel a little cheated if it was like Topps trying to like push their new products, because they are like the other article we're gonna talk about is their new shit that they're putting out. So I mean,
I can't wait to talk about that, because then you need to do a lot of translating for me because I was reading and it was like reading a technical chemical manual. I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports hobby like jargon in there for sure. Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, USPS has put out an advisory warning to people for scams. So, and apparently this article was talking about how a lot of these. Yeah, no, this is real. Like I get these text messages all the time.
No, I believe you, but like the scam is not new. Like the scam has existed.
Oh no, so this type of scam has been around forever, right? Like they have just been changing their format. Before it used to be like emails or whatever. Now they're sending it via text. You know, and now they're using USPS. Before they used to use other entities and other companies like
Amazon, Con
Edison or whatever, your phone company or whatever.
I mean, it's literally your antivirus is expiring. Please renew your. Or there's a virus on your computer, but for packages.
Yeah. It's basically phishing for your information, right? So when you click on that link, you end up giving them access to whatever personal information you have on your computer or whatever. But apparently this is very prevalent amongst sports card resellers and collectors because a lot of times a lot of these people, and including myself, use the USPS to ship items, and sometimes we do that.
I mean, just the volume. Look, let's just talk about the volume of car grading. We're not even talking about car selling.
No. Even before we get there, like the thing that sports card sellers, the problem is like sometimes a lot of times we send in a plain white envelope, right? And with either a stamp or just like a metered stamp, right? And that has no tracking. So you just assume that it's going to get there in 2 to 3 days, right? So hopefully
USPS, the best in the world.
Yeah. So you hope that's going to get there, all right? But then as a seller who constantly ships with white envelopes, sometimes you get these messages thinking like, oh wait, maybe one of my packages potentially could have got lost to my seller, and especially if you're not a veteran seller, I could see how somebody could fall for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's also if you're not a veteran, even if you're a veteran buyer, like sometimes, again, the whole point of the scam, right? Which is, again, they send you a text message saying that this is for you to track, or we're going to come back on Tuesday, or it's like a really inconvenient time, right? Like I presume I've never received one of these, but I know how I'm just, again, my criminal brain, right? My criminal brain hat is put on, right? And then again, this is what I would do, right? I'm trying to push for a quick response for you to give me the actual tracking number if there is one.
That's almost exactly what they. Yeah.
Right. So like, your package has, we will deliver it at 9 p.m. on a Friday. You're like, no, come on, hey, what is this? And then you're like, quickly, pull the trigger. And again, even if you're a veteran. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm waiting for this card. I need to even if you're a reseller, maybe potentially you already have a client. So there's a lot of, the potential is definitely there. It's just, I mean, at this point, you just gotta be smart. And again, this scam has existed for so long. It's been at least, I mean, I was receiving this 10, 15 years ago with packages, right? Like, oh, track your package. I'm like, why would you? Like this email is from USPSSSSS.org. You
always got to look at the email, right? You look at where it's coming from, then immediately.
Everything. You got to look at everything. Like this logo. This logo is not an eagle. It's a raven. Like what's going on?
It doesn't take much, right? Because they just need to scare you for a split second enough for you to click that link. And then the second you click that link, you're kind of screwed, right? Because once you let that page load, it's gonna steal your information. So sometimes you panic for a hot second and you click it before you realize, oh shit, that was a scam. When you let it process in your brain, and then by that time it's a little too late because you already clicked on that link. So I could see how these guys get people. You know,
we need a good slogan. Like, remember, click it before you ticket. Like, we need a don't click it. don't click it before. Don't click it before you check the email address and make sure that it's from the correct sender. Like, I don't know. We need something more catchy. More catchy. We gotta brainstorm on this one. You gotta.
Yeah. No, we'll workshop it. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. but still, it's an interesting thing that's going on. Apparently, it's pretty prevalent right now.
I mean, I get it. Like, look, it makes total sense. Like, the scams are always preying on quick pull responses, and it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Speaking about this, right? Speaking about stolen packages, like, I think I saw online there was a YouTuber who put a flashbang in one of the boxes, like Amazon box.
Like, that's porch, and then they come and grab.
Yeah, like that's like he made a video about, hey, put a flashbang in the box. But the other one was the dude throwing away his old TV. So he packed it in the new TV.
There was a guy on Instagram that was showing himself where he put dog doo-doo in these packages and waiting for people to steal them. And it was just,
I mean, the dog doo-doo is great, but the best one was when the dude like put his old TV in the new TV box and was like, I don't have to carry it anywhere. Yeah. Just pick it up for me. So, like, I think that's great. But yeah, I mean, I have not lived, I had my packages stolen living in an apartment building. So I know how it, I know how it happens. I know, but it's just unfortunate, that such things exist. And these scams, usually, it just leads you down a road of just shit.
Yeah, it's just garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. All right, let's move it along. All right, next topic is the sports card world is having some really big releases before Christmas. There's a bunch of stuff coming back. There's a bunch of stuff that's just new releases. The one that the one that's coming back is the triple thread, the Topps triple thread for baseball, where they take 3 patches of their jersey.
I was reading this and I felt like I was trying to read a chemical chemistry textbook. I was like, I don't know what any of these things. One like what was I reading? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Again, now for someone this might make sense, and Topps graphite tennis. Right, UEFA club competition soccer, no huddle configuration, Panini mosaic. I was like, what is this? Triple threads baseball. And then I'm like reading, and like my brain is like slowly shutting off. It's like, read the words, but don't think about what you're reading.
Yeah. No, they're just they always have like these weird ass names for all these sets, man, and they're constantly like coming out with new ones. And then they have like crossover promotions. Like they have this one in basketball has this one set that they cross with Monopoly. So it's like Panini Monopoly Prism set, and they have like all these weird things. It's like they're constantly doing all these weird
Panini, Panini, Capote, Prism, Diamond, Sparkle, Triple Graph.
Don't even get me started on the names of the fucking parallels that they have for each card, right? So there's like the base card, right? And then they have the different parallel colors, and then the things that they name these colors are ridiculous. Like there was this one, it was called reggae flood electric something. I was like, why did you have to name it that? Like you could have just
electric slide.
Yeah, it could have been something different, man. Like I don't understand this. Yeah, it gets so complicated.
Yeah, man. I immediately got turned off to any collecting. I was like, I'm not learning.
Yeah, let me tell you, people joke about how weird like trading cards are with like Pokemon and like One Piece and all this stuff. But I feel like sports cards are way weirder in their the way they print their cards, and like the different parallels and all that stuff. Like it's they just make no sense. At least with like Pokemon.
Hold on. Let me read this to you now. Again, for those of you that are collectors, this probably makes a lot of sense and you'll understand it. But let me just read this one sentence and then as a normal human being, try to understand it, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is the second to last sentence of the article. No, like maybe the fifth last sentence of the article. And it goes like this, okay? Friday, December 20th is another solid release day with
I knew this
2024. Panini Prism Baseball 2024 Panini Prism Collegiate Draft Football and the new moniker for Prism Draft Picks in 2023-2024 Panini 1-and-1 Basketball on the docket. Like, what?
Yeah, I knew that was
First of all, how many cards are they talking about? Like 5 different cards? 3 different cards? I have no clue. Are there like 3 different collections, or there's 4 collections? Why? Like, I have no idea. Now there's like 2024. Maybe it's 2023 and 2024. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. It's just I read that and I was.
First and foremost, baseball and football obviously only have like 2024, not 2023, 2024. Like basketball has 2023, 2024 because it goes in from the 2023 year into the 2024 year, right? So that's.
I mean, technically, so does football. Technically, so does football. Well, because the Super Bowl is played in the next year.
Yes, to February, but it really ends at the end of the year. Really, it's 1 year, like. Or at least
I understand. Again, this is me nitpicking at stuff. Okay, like it's just
the rest is just the names of the sets, right? Because they're all Panini sets, but Panini has multiple different kinds of sets that they put out even for the same sport. Like they'll have Panini Prism basketball.
Whenever I read Panini, I'm like, I don't know if I want a bread or if I want like some sort of sweet croissant, like.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just year and set, like it's. But I knew exactly that when you said that I'm gonna pick a line, I was like, that's the one he's gonna talk about for sure. Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
No, it's the truth.
So again, I read it, and it was quite confusing. Like my brain shut off like 3 times reading this article.
Yeah, there's a lot of going on in that article. They just like throw a lot of names at you, and you're like if you're a sports card guy, you understand like these different sets.
This felt like reading All Quiet on the Western Front in 9th grade. I was like, I'm reading it, but like, the stuff is not saving in the RAM. You know?
Okay. Next topic we're gonna talk about is if this article is just it's how to get cards graded cheap, and I put this out because if for anybody who's watching who's a collector, right now is a really great time to get cards graded if you're planning on if you do have any cards that are worth grading and you want to get graded. Right now is the time. Usually around Christmas time, the holidays are the best time, right? Because PSA, Beckett, they put out a lot of discounts and deals for these holiday seasons, and they usually. A lot of times, especially if you're doing bulk, like if we're doing 20 or more cards, you get a really good deal on a lot of these cards. So anybody out there, if you got cards, now's the time. Send it out. You'll get a cheaper rate.
I know
it'll be same turnaround though.
I know we were talking about this last week, right? About the number of grading, like it's huge, like over close to. Yeah, like the millions and billions of cards getting graded, right? Per month, right? Yeah, so does that mean like that the end of the year, like you said, because of these discounts, does that mean that the number also increases by a lot? Like it's the highest grading volume of the right now, during the year?
Yeah, winter into fall, like the holiday season is probably their biggest time. That because they put out these deals, a lot of people will send out cards for grading and stuff like that.
And they mentioned like you can even some places you can just go in person and you can deliver them in person.
In New York, in Manhattan, they have an event this weekend or next weekend to drop off. Same thing, and in Long Island, they're doing the same PSA. PSA is allowing people to drop off their cards in person, but you still have to pay online. So you have to set up the form, pay online, and then package it up and then give it to them. But you save about $20 in shipping you still got to pay for the return shipping, but you save money on the shipping going there. But you also have to factor in if you don't live in the New York area or the Long Island area, you're paying gas and toll fare. Like if I were to do it, it doesn't make sense for me because I would end up paying more than $20 in toll and gas. Because toll alone to get.
I mean, but if you're planning to attend the event anyways, right? So
if I was planning on. Yeah, if they were doing one in Jersey closer to me, I would 100% like go and drop.
No.
You know, like
no one's doing it in Jersey.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think the fact that they give everybody an option to do that is really good because you know, especially if you're doing like a few cards at a time, it's better. It's good because you don't have to. Because you're paying almost the same amount of shipping, even if you're sending one card versus 20 cards, you know. So it just makes sense for you to drop it off if you only have a few cards.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah,
I think it's again for those of you that are waiting to grade or thinking about grading your cards. I think if it saves you money, why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel right now is a good time. And I mean, the only problem with the holidays is sometimes the turnaround time is roughly the same. It might be a little longer only because you lose the holiday, you know, those days because nobody works during those days. So, you know, that is a problem.
Well, what are you trying to say? Like people are slackers? What are you?
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. I don't want anybody canceling us. There's been enough of the cancel culture going on already. Anyway, but yeah, you know, like I said, turnaround times are a little longer, but it's worth it because you save a lot of money. So I say if you're a collector and you got cards and you want to grade, right now it's time. Like I'm actually about to send out a bunch. I was waiting a little bit because, you know, I had a bunch of cards like a month ago, but these sales don't go on till, or they didn't go on till starting like last week. So now I've been like waiting, but yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for everybody. All right, next topic. Oh, Caitlin Clark has a real impact on the sports card market and the WNBA as a whole. I think
you picked this just because Caitlin Clark is sensationalizing, you know, the media right now. That's why you picked this article. Like, oh, let's hop on this.
100%. Well, no, okay. So the real reason I picked it is because I'm not like a fan of Caitlin Clark all that much, but I do like see the impact that she's had on the WNBA. Like she has brought a lot of more visibility to the WNBA than they've had in the last few years. And
how can you say that? As a person of color, how dare you? How dare you say this white girl?
I'm giving you read the article. I'm just giving you numbers. You know, it's like
no, I know. I've been following it also. I've been following it.
Ratings are up.
I've been following it since her finals in NCAA, you know, appearance.
And she's not a bad player. She's a good player.
She's an amazing player.
Yeah, she could play. You know, like she could play ball.
One in a generation. One in a generation, I would say.
And she's fun to watch.
Male or female. Yeah.
Yeah. And like she's a good player, and I can see why. The thing is, I'm just impressed by her impact on the sport as a whole, you know, like she is and she's also like kind of jumped the gender barrier, right? Because even men are like impressed by her and watch her now, and it's actually made male attendance in the WNBA a lot higher, you know. So like I think I'm just, like I said, impressed by how big of an influence she's had on not just the basketball realm, but you know, the sports cards and everything else, you know.
No, I mean, it's something again that I also, if you think about it, like if she's boosting collections for now women's, you know, basketball cards and stuff like that, which again, I didn't know how big the market was, but if her impact is felt there as well, it's unbelievable. Like it's what WNBA surging 150%.
Yep.
product search has increased by 870%. I mean, like, this is not, we're not talking, she's not doubling the numbers. It's like an exponential jump. You know?
Look, she said that the article says that their live stream sales are surpassing $2 billion because of the merchandise, the annual gross merchandise sales values that she has for her, for her stuff, and then the impact she's having on the sport and everything.
It's still, and I know there's yeah, and I know there's, again, I don't want to get into this, but there's a lot of controversy about, how there's some coaches in WNBA that are hating on her because, again, of her being white, and then at the same time saying that there have been, players of color that have achieved this sort of greatness, but the reality is they've achieved it over the course of years, right? Where she has done it in 1 year and been the best rookie,
straight out of college,
has surpassed straight out of college, and not, everyone, there's, I'm not gonna say who it is, but if you guys follow this at all, you can find out there's a few very prominent figures in sports media and coaches that have, there was someone even saying, like, she was voted athlete of the year, right? I think, right? And then someone was saying, well, why couldn't the WNBA be the athlete of the year? Well, it's not called League of the Year, right? It's athlete of the year. So there's just some things that are people nitpicking, and if she's bringing this kind of visibility and exposure, everyone will benefit. Like, everyone will benefit. I get it. It's a white girl, and
but I feel like how can she... Well, I feel like anybody at this level, especially if you have this much reach and influence, you're always gonna have criticism, right? You're always gonna, like, because especially the stronger of an impact you have, the more stronger a visceral reaction you'll have by the people who disagree with you, right? So, well,
I mean, it's, it causes conversation, like we are talking about it, right? Exactly. So it's still exposure, it's still display, it's still increase in value, it's still increase in something that, I mean, granted, if we were doing this podcast last year, I doubt we would be talking about WNBA, right? So her being this controversial figure and being such a good player, again, it brings the conversation forward. And I understand. I think I moved to the U.S. when WNBA had an inaugural season, right? And I remember, the New York Liberty and stuff like that when they were just starting out, and then there was a small amount of teams, and I've even met players who played in the WNBA, and then again they left WNBA because they were making a lot more money overseas and playing for European leagues where women's basketball is actually more popular and they actually get paid better. And usually that's why there's a reason why WNBA season takes place during the summer, because the rest of the year these women play overseas and are making, not everyone obviously, but majority of them are playing in other leagues. And getting paid for it and actually making more money outside of the WNBA. So, but for, I think it's been 25 years? No, 30, 25, something like that, right? 20 years, 25 years?
Yeah, 25 years or something like that.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. Hold on. Let's not be incorrect about this. WNBA inaugural.
While you're looking that up, I think
okay, it was 1997, so I was already in the States for a couple of years when that happened, right? So yeah, it's gonna be in a couple of years. It's gonna be 30 years, right? So it's just it started with 13 teams, and and she's able to grow this. Again, she's able to grow this fan base and everything. So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I think this is great, and I think I kind of liken this to the whole like Linsanity thing, right? Like when he blew up, it made like Asian people in basketball like more like just all the Asian people started watching basketball again, right? They got really into it, and attendance get up. Even like the kids were playing basketball more because they of Asian descent, and like this, like I think this is similar because, you know, like now you have more girls that are going to be down to play basketball. They're going to be in there trying to get better and stuff. And you're going to have, you know, just like we were saying, the attendance at WNBA events. The WNBA is more relevant now. So like, you know, I feel like it's a similar thing. And, you know, whenever you have a really great player, I mean, Lynn only did a few games. She's doing a lot better. She did the whole, and her whole first season was amazing. So like she, you know, yeah. So I just think it's a great thing overall. I'm sure she's gonna have her detractors and she's gonna have people who criticize her and stuff.
Like you,
yeah,
Mr. Hater, whoever you are.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean, but you just can't deny the influence that she's had and how much of a positive impact she's had on the sport and like the industry as a whole.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move it along. All right. Next one. Okay. The prison for fraudsters. Did you see that article? So
I did. I only read the first one. I didn't continue reading the rest. I don't know if that you wanted me to continue. I mean, it's really short, but
I just wanted you to get the gist of it. But so apparently
is this because of the guy? Because we talked about the guy that didn't pay for his auction win. Like, is this the reason you pulled this up?
Know the consequences of reneging.
There's justice. There is justice in the collecting world.
Yeah,
but I think this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do.
This is not that. This is fraud. Yeah, this is like straight up fraud that these guys did, and like I think what was it, like $8 million worth of it or something. But you know,
$8 million.
Yeah, but it's just interesting that they what do you call it? You know, that the U.S. is getting so involved in the sports card industry and catching people who are
even fraudsters are. Even the guys that steal 8 million are buying cards. Is that your point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but it's just, you know,
he only spent 12,000. Like, out of what's the percentage wise of like 8 million? Like, he spent $12,000. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna hold on. 12,000.
Drop in a bucket.
Divided by 8 million is what? Oh my God! It's not. Dude, it's 0.15% of their.
Yeah, they got it back. But I mean, I was just an interesting article. I just thought it's cool, not cool, but it's, I guess, a good thing.
It's cool now to be a fraudster. That's what you're saying. It's cool to embezzle money and steal from people. Are you the one sending those text messages with the package shipping numbers? Is it you?
Yeah. I'm the guy. I'm the Nigerian prince that's emailing you all the time. Yeah, that's
you mean the Indian conglomerate prince, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I need you to hold some of my money in your bank account and then send it back to me. You can take out like 5%. So.
Oh my God! Oh, you sent me too much. I sent you too much by mistake. Please return more of my money that I sent you by mistake.
All right. Let's move it on to the next article. What was it? Yeah, the U.S. Justice Department investigated Epic Games. Their board members apparently were on the board for a competing like game developer. So that's like a huge federal
almost like a monopoly.
Yeah. So I think there's a term for it. I think it was called what was it called?
A monopoly.
It's like Section 8 of the Clayton Act. Yeah. So apparently they were close to violating like huge antitrust. Yeah, it was an antitrust law. So
yeah, it's a monopoly.
Yeah, exactly. It's a monopoly because
I mean, look, Tencent is a minority owner of Epic and a majority owner of Riot Games.
Yeah. Yeah, they're competing companies, you know, and so they.
I actually have a very close link to Riot Games. I'm not gonna say why, but it's let's just say through the grapevine that Maybe they should also investigate some of the Riot Game stuff.
I'm sure they're not the only ones. There's a lot of developers out there that are really.
Tencent is what? Do they also have TikTok as well? No, right? That's ByteDance.
Oh, that's ByteDance. Yeah, this is different. But yeah, it was just kind of crazy that and they were on these boards for a long time. Like this wasn't like new, So like it's kind of weird that the Justice Department is just now doing something about it. Like this is public knowledge. For a long time.
Justice Department got to justice sometimes,
Maybe sometimes it's a little late. They get it, right?
They gotta do the justice stuff, Hold on. Oh no, you disappeared.
Come downstairs. The door,
dude.
Open.
What door?
The basement door. What are you talking about? From the kitchen.
No, I was locked out.
Oh.
Because Dad just left.
Oh,
and I
sorry.
left, and my phone was.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, glad you're awake. All right, I'll leave you.
Bye.
Yahoo!
Sorry,
Bye.
I locked out. Anyway. All right, let's continue. What was the next topic? Oh, I bet you enjoyed this one. The New York Jets owner torpedoed the trade because of the player's Madden rating. How ridiculous is that?
Dude, okay, that is crazy.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
That is crazy. But now, right? Now, again, my brain works in mysterious ways. As a player, if Madden gives me a shitty rating now,
yeah,
like this could impact my ability to make millions of dollars.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Right? Isn't that?
That is insane.
Crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
That is insane. So now, like before, it used to be like a joke, like in the beginning of the season when Madden first came out, and people were like, "What? They gave me a rating of they're wrong." But now, if Madden gives you a shitty rating, you literally potentially can lose millions of dollars of income because of a rating that some dweeby geeky dude with a obviously they're all sports fans, right? But at the same time, they're not. They're just like geeks like us who make video games. I mean, we don't make video games, but
my question is,
it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy because that will
based on their actual season playing, like how statistics, or is this based on like user, like how the users are using these players in the game, right? Because if these ratings are based on their real life, like performance in the sport.
Now,
in that season,
the question is there potentially a lawsuit here? Hold on. Is there potentially a lawsuit here of stating that you are, just hear me out, right? Again, I get it. They're public figures, right? So it's like a defamation case because now you're stating I am not as good as I am. And because of that, it has cost me millions of dollars of potential income of not playing for a particular team that wanted to trade for me. I'm pulling at straws here, I know, but if you're thinking if you're thinking from a perspective as a player, like let's say I'm straight out of college, right? I'm straight out of college. I'm supposed to get drafted. Does that impact my draft pick now? Where do I get drafted in the first round, second round? And potentially again, because now are you basing it on my performance in college, or are you basing it on scouting reports, or are you just giving me an average number for players coming out of college that are rated this way? So that again, I'm just saying, like, I know I'm grasping at straws here, but is there a potential for a defamation lawsuit? Because now you stated based on what? I don't know the parameters of your measurements, and because of that, it cost me millions of dollars. Do I have a case that I can bring up against you saying that, hey, you said I was this rating. In reality, if you look at my stats, I am not this rating. And because you saying that now, again, I know I'm just, as always, I'm in my own little
look,
insanity stratosphere.
There's a lot of complexity in that, right? First of all, I'm not an attorney, so I can't say yes or no either way. But
you're not an attorney. What am I doing here then?
I don't think that they would have a legitimate case, right? Because number one, there is no set standard or regulatory standard on how a owner or a scout is allowed to evaluate a player, right? It's completely subjective.
You're absolutely correct.
Completely subjective.
You're absolutely, but again, I'm not.
So for you to say, oh, whatever metric you use to evaluate me is wrong and it costs me millions of dollars is a very difficult thing for you to win.
I'm saying EA Games devaluing me and giving me
I'm saying that doesn't matter.
82 instead of a 92.
That doesn't matter, right? What matters is that there is no standard for how a owner or a scout picks out their players, so they can legitimately use whatever they want to evaluate their trades and picks.
But right? I'm saying the EA Sports. I'm not saying I'm not just focusing on. Again, this is a good example. I don't care about their evaluation of the player from the team side. I'm saying the devaluation of my value and defamation by EA Sports by giving me this rating.
It's not EA Sports. That's telling.
But it's EA Sports that's giving me the rating. I'm not saying again.
EA Sports is giving you giving them the ratings within the game. So that
correct.
People use that, that has nothing to do with EA Sports.
That's fine, but it's defaming me. It's defaming me. It's lowering my value because should be valued at 92 player.
That's not how defamation works, though. But that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. What do you mean? It's ill.
Because they're not using that.
Lowering of my value in the eyes of the public.
No.
It's not for the owners.
That's not how.
Me and you, we can argue about this, right? And it's costing me potential to make money. Like if I was rated 92, and then that's fine. Then you're not saying that I.
That was not that was not what the rating was made for. The rating was made for the game. The fact that somebody else outside used that to make a judgment call has nothing to do with EA, and that has nothing. That is not defamation on that player. You know what I'm saying?
Most likely there's no case here because again the NFL Players Association signs off on agreement for them to use the likeness, and the players get a certain percentage from the game as a license fee, all that stuff to use their name. So again, they agreed to those parameters and to be put in the game as a collective group bargaining agreement. I get it. I'm just saying, that's how my brain works. That's what I was thinking about.
I'm sure, but I mean, I don't agree with the owner for him to use that as a barometer to evaluate a player. But if the developers of EA are making these ratings based on actual metrics for their performance in the real world and not within the game, and then I don't see why that wouldn't be now I wouldn't say that that's something that you should solely use as the reason how you evaluate somebody, but this could be one of many factors that you use to evaluate whether you think this player is a good fit or you want to bring him on. You know what I'm saying? So
then now when the ratings come out, I think players will be a lot more upset about getting a lower rating than they were before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because of before it was a joke, but now potentially you're saying
now it's a real thing. It's a real life thing. So
correct.
now
owners, managers potentially are looking at my rating.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be as funny as it was at the beginning of the season when people are complaining oh, I can't believe.
Before it was a joke, right? Nobody cared. Yeah. Nobody thought it was a video game, right? Now that video game is having real world influence on the sport, and that's I mean, I don't know.
Man, we live in the Matrix. We live in the Matrix.
But like I said, if it was based on performance, on their real world performance, then I don't hate on that guy for using it. But it is what it is. All right.
Look, it seems like it worked out eventually for the guy because he's having a much better season this year.
Yeah.
Where with the team that he stayed, and he's actually producing a lot more. Like I think last season, Judy had 54 catches and 758 yards and 2 touchdowns. And this season, he has already 70 receptions, 1,052 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So in a way, him not leaving, it benefited him because now his stats improved.
That Jets owner is probably going to kicking himself in the ass for.
I don't care about the Jets owner. He's a billionaire. He can.
Yeah, he got.
I don't care. I care more about the other millionaire, not the billionaire. I care more about Judy. Okay, the millionaire player, because I can relate to him. I understand as a semi-professional athlete myself. Who.
That's good to know. That's good to know that you can relate with him. All right. Let's move on to the final thing. It is a review of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So, I'm sure you probably
go for it. This is all you. This is all you. I know nothing of this.
But so it is the new RPG that came out. I forget who's is it no. Who's the developer? I forget their name. Why am I blanking on it? Anyway, whatever. But everybody knows the Dragon.
Chaos Games.
Yeah.
No, it's not Riot. It's Chaos.
No, it's Chaos.
I don't know.
Activision.
But,
Activision. I mean, I played it enough. I should know who the developer is. But anyway, so it just came out a couple weeks ago. It is a really, really good game. It's very complicated. It got a lot of slack because there's a transgender main character, or not main character, but one of your companions is a transgender, I guess, woman or man, or like binary. Yeah, they're binary. They're like.
What's the character? Is in the game? Is the character a female-looking character or not a? You're saying it's transgender. So in the game, do they refer to the character as she, or do they refer to the character as he?
Well, first they refer to her as she, but then like part of the story is that she transitions, they transition because then they want to be called they or them.
Is the character a human, or is it? There you go. I mean, who the hell knows?
Called the Kunari. There
you go. Then what does it matter? It's an alien anyways. Yeah, what does it matter? No one watched Lord of the Rings. How did the orcs make more orcs? There was no female orcs. No one got bent out of. Yeah. Sauron made him with his ball sack into the earth, right? Like, who the hell knows? Like, why are people so upset about all this? It's all fantasy. Jeez.
The whole thing. Talk and explain the whole thing. No, but to your point, yeah, it is a different race. So
didn't we have this sort of similar? Didn't we have something very similar all the way back in Mass Effect? Like there were alien. Not transgender, but like not
gay in that game, but not. I don't think there was a transgender.
No, but like you're multiple alien races. Like who the hell knows how they procreate? Like maybe they take a cell. Maybe it's like Boba Fett. It's just a bunch of clones. Like who the hell? Like
I'm not the developer. I didn't write the game. I have no objections to the whole thing. I thought it lended more to character development to the characters. So I was okay with it. I didn't care too much about that. I thought the game as a whole was really amazing. So that even if you were not a fan of that, I think you could overlook.
Can you kill that character and continue with the game?
Actually, yes, you could. There are ways for you to.
There you go. Problem solved. You don't want that character in your party.
Yeah, you could potentially
kibosh it and move on.
You would have to wait till like almost the end of the game to do that. But yes, you could eventually have them killed off. I mean, look
how good I am at finding solutions. Look how good I am. I'm just I'm just a solution
You're firing
oriented
on all
person.
cylinders. You're firing on all cylinders. But no, but putting that aside, I think as a whole, I don't know if you've ever played a Dragon Age game, but this was a really good entry in the series. This is the fourth game of the series. The first three games were really, really good, and they've progressively changed. And this game is a much different than the other games, but it was really, really well developed. I thought the mechanics of the game were really, really fun to play. It made you feel like a badass, like super powerful, because you could like pull off like these crazy powerful moves. And I thought the story was really good. So I think if you're an RPG fan, if you've ever played the Dragon Age games, you definitely should pick this up. It's a solid game. I think they have it on Xbox. So if you're an Xbox player, you should definitely pick it up. But if you should only play this game if you're a hardcore RPG fan, because it is a through and through RPG. So you got I figured it's not your cup of tea, but I'm sure.
I just honestly I don't have the time to.
They're lengthy games. Like this game was a long haul. Like it wasn't a short game, and so a lot, especially in general, RPGs are pretty long. Like the standard RPG is like 60 hours, 40 to 60 hours in general, and then like the really big ticket ones, like the huge games, sometimes are like 200 hours. I think like Skyrim, one of the biggest RPGs, was like I think they said the main, if you really did it took like 100 hours to finish. Like if you didn't do like 100%, if you did 100%, it was a lot more. So these RPGs tend to be long, but I'm a huge fan. I love RPG games, so I play them a lot. So I did enjoy this game quite a bit.
Cool, man. Sounds like a good review. Sounds like good. So you want to give it a scale out of 10 or out of 5? What would you rate it?
Out of 10. I'll give it an 8. It was an 8.
Okay.
It was good. It was solid game. Yeah, I think GameSpot gave it an 8.
So the only thing that you didn't like was the trans character. I understand.
Yeah, the trans character. Thanks.
That's why you didn't give it a 10? Is that the reason? Is that the reason, sir?
That's exactly what I said. But anyway, oh man. But I guess that's the last topic of the day. We'll call it a day now, and we'll come back next week and bring some more topics to you. But anyway,
yes, I would like to talk about what is that special level? What did I send? What is it called?
Yeah, secret level. I was gonna watch that this week. Yeah. I was gonna watch that this week and put that as a review for next week.
Like I have to go prep for some people coming over for Christmas Eve, so I'm just gonna be dicing vegetables.
I watched the trailer
and
of it. It looked like it kind of looks like it kind of starts off like it's a Mega Man thing, and then it changes to something else.
It's by the I think by the producers or by the makers of Love, Death and Robots.
Oh, yeah.
So
so it's like shorts.
So it's like
shorts.
It's anthology. Yeah, it's like
I think what is it? Like one of them, because when I watched the trailer, the very first
they're
one,
all video game
film.
Related.
Yeah.
They're all video game related.
Yeah.
They're all video game. I think there's 16 episodes, and they're all different length. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list. So as I said, I'm gonna have a lot of time.
Most of their stuff is usually like 15 minutes or something like that. It's not like full length episodes.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to chopping vegetables and prepping food and watching it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be cutting stuff. Hopefully I don't. Yeah, hopefully I don't cut my fingers, because then I'll get distracted. But everything should be fine, and we can talk about it next week.
We will definitely do that. I'll put that on the list. But anyway, we'll call it a day today, and we'll see you guys again. Thank you for joining, and come back again next week, guys.
Yeah, and happy holidays, depending when this is getting released.
Happy holidays if you're not with us next week. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year's. All right.
Happy.